Ray City. CBS Midday News with Douglas Edwards. 4571.
News we switch now to CBS in New York.
This is the CBS Midday News with Douglas Edwards. Today from the CBS Newsroom in New York. The Supreme Court handed down a wide variety of decisions this morning. David Shoemaker reports from Washington.
The government's electronic surveillance tactics received an important endorsement this morning from the Supreme Court. By a vote of 6-3, the justices said it's all right to rig undercover agents with hidden radio transmitters to catch unsuspecting law violators. According to the court, this kind of eavesdropping does not require a search warrant, and the recorded conversations can be used against the defendant in a trial. Whether that's a kind of self-incrimination is a question that's bothered the court for some time, but today's opinion says no one has the right to expect that the person he's talking with is not necessarily a police informer. The ruling probably will fuel the argument of analysts who say the court is becoming more conservative, but there are other rulings today that indicate the court is not quite that easy to classify. For instance, the judges upheld the 1968 firearms registration law, upheld the right of Negroes in Lackawanna and New York to build a housing subdivision in an all-white neighborhood, and turned down a request to resume saying prayers in the public schools of Netcong, New Jersey. David Shoemaker, CBS News, Washington.
To those who suffer through the expense, the mess, and the smell of getting...
For the sixth straight day, North Vietnamese troops attacked Fire Base 6 in the central highlands of South Vietnam. And government forces say they were thrown back again with the help of heavy bombing by U.S. B-52. This has become one of the biggest enemy operations in a year. One American officer said it appears to be aimed at proving to the world that the South Vietnamese drive into Laos did little damage. Here in New York, the Big Four begin their third year of talks at the United Nations, hoping to untangle the Middle East impasse. We have a report from UN correspondent Richard C. Hottelet.
The Big Four remain caught in the same big stalemate that has frozen the whole diplomacy of the Middle East. There just seems to be no movement on the central issue, Israel's withdrawal from occupied Arab territory in the framework of a peace agreement. The main effort appears to be going on behind the scenes, with the United States trying to persuade Israel officially to define its territorial demands, and the Israelis replying that they want to negotiate this point. Publicly, Israel and Egypt are trading mutually unacceptable proposals on reopening the Suez Canal. And here in New York, the Big Four are also concentrating on a side issue. They are discussing what kind of guarantees they could give to stabilize a peace agreement between Israel and the Arabs when and if that agreement is reached. Richard C. Hottelet, CBS News.
A chartered Pakistani plane today began the airlift of Americans out of East Pakistan, where civil war has been going on for 12 days now. 110 Americans were flown to Karachi in West Pakistan. President Nixon is flying back to Washington this afternoon after conferences with leaders of the movie industry at the Western White House. Los Angeles Mayor Sam Yorty has termed unemployment in the industry catastrophic. Part of the problem being that so many movies are made overseas. Over the weekend, Mr. Nixon worked on the TV radio address he'll deliver from the White House Wednesday night. The announced subject, U.S. troop withdrawals from Vietnam. That's the news. Good day from New York.
This has been the CBS Midday News with Douglas Edwards. Detailed coverage on today's major events in color on the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite. What happened to Earth Day? That's the question CBS News will tackle in a progress report on the ecology movement since Earth Day. Ahoy! A sword on board was security enough for Jose Gaspar.
The 20th. Since this mission went exceedingly well, the moon landing was definitely in July. The launch date, July 16th. The lunar landing, July 20th. July 20th will go down in the history books as one of the most important days since the beginning of man. Man, and Americans at that, will actually set foot on the lunar surface for the first time any Earthman has done in known history. Matter of fact, the first time any Earthman since the beginning of man has ever done it. Let's put it this way, maybe the Martians beat us. Well, there is a story, at least a theory, about there being Martians on the planet Mars. The theory doesn't hold true as it is now, and the theory doesn't state so. It says that they were originally Martians, and some of them were, they traveled because of the drying up of the planet or other conditions out in a spaceship, traveled away maybe to another solar system. Maybe they stopped at Earth. Who knows? It's an interesting theory, isn't it? Well, now we're going to go back to the oral work now, and here I am again. Oh, this time I'm live. Thank you. Electromar Portable Newsman, ARH, this is in full technical. This has been the CBS, this has been the GBS Special Report. The Flight of Apollo 10. Brought to you by Western Electric Manufacturing and Supply Unit of Bells, and here's why the continuous coverage of important news events and autobiographies and biographies and etc. Direct from our GBS portable news station. This is ARH and Dennis Palumbo reporting the latest space stories. Here he is, Alfred Hogan. Alfred? Good day. We're here now to talk about space. And as you know, the recent mission of Apollo 12, which lasted from the 16th of November, which is the launch, to the lunar landing on the 20th, to the splashdown on the 22nd. I believe it was. Yes, 22nd, I'm pretty sure. And as you know, the upcoming mission, Apollo 12, will go to our moon again. But why are we going there twice? Well, there's several sides to the story. And here's the engineer's side. We need to test our spacecraft in lunar environments, says one engineer. This is the only way to do it. And see how man will operate under these different conditions. And here's a quote from a scientist. Just because we've landed in one place on Apollo 12 doesn't mean that's what it's going to be like on the entire moon. We hope to eventually land astronauts in the highlands of the lunar territory. There, we might be able to, under the certain theory, that there might be an upburst there which would give us material from the inside core of our moon. This type of thing would excite a scientist. And also, we need to explore around the moon, and eventually we can establish permanent bases there, and so forth. And this is the way to lead up to it. And on the last 4 Apollos that are planned for the next 3 years, that is, Apollo 20, Apollo 19, Apollo 17, and Apollo 18, will all carry small roving vehicles, as they're called, to go farther from the mother ship, the spacecraft, which is the LM. And let's focus more on Apollo 12. It's going to land in the Ocean of Storms, which is about 200 to 400 miles away, well, quite away to the, towards the, I don't know how to put it, towards the west of the Apollo 11 landing site. This is very interesting. Now let's go into the statistical reports of the flight. First, let's start with the launch. Launch is to take place at 11:22. 11:22, November 14th, next AM, Eastern Standard Time. And then we go into the flight. There'll be many broadcasts. And we have the lunar landing, the actual vehicle landing, at 1:23 scheduled time now, on the touchdown on the Ocean of Storms in the Lunar Sea. And I'll talk to you orally about it just after this. From our GBS Portable Newsman, ARH, in full technicolor. This has been the GBS News Special.
Good deal. That's an argument for those who think the moon has a volcanic history, but
With me here is our guest science fictionist, perhaps the world's most distinguished one, I would say, Arthur C. Clarke. I give you that accolade that has been bestowed by a lot of others before me, so I'm just being a good reporter and not flattering you with that, I don't think. Thank you. What so far in these 4 days of flight have surprised you most, would you say?
Well, I think the smoothness with which everything is gone, even this minor trouble, I hope it's minor trouble, with the depressuring of the tunnel between the two spacecraft. This, I hope, will not be serious, but it does indicate they're very wise in planning to do this type of intermediate operation, not attempting to land on this mission. I'm sure that everyone's very happy they are doing this and not going down to the moon on this trip.
Yes, there was some discussion, earlier in the Manned Space Center, and I think even more particularly among laymen, lay experts on moon flight, saying, why go with this flight? Why not go ahead and land once you're 10 miles above the moon? As we know, there's some very good reasons for that. One of the reasons being that they do not have to commit that radar and the full landing system on this flight. They are a little bit lighter. They can go down to that stage with less fuel aboard, just the amount of fuel it takes to get back from 50,000 feet, and that's quite a considerable reduction because those first few feet off are even more difficult than the latter stages, I take it. Arthur, do any of the troubles they've had resemble anything that you've foreseen in your science fiction in the past?
Well, in a way, yes. It occurred to me that they have trouble redocking. You might have this situation which I've often described in fiction when men have got to cross space without a spaces, going from one spacecraft to another, which is theoretically possible, but I sincerely hope we don't have to try it on this mission or any future missions. One day someone will have to do this.
They're prepared, of course, for a small crossing. One man carries a 4-hour supply of oxygen and the full pressurization for all this equipment in a portable life support system. The other has a 30-minute supply of oxygen, and they both have spacesuits, which would make it possible for them to transfer from one spacecraft to the other if they could not dock. It'd be mighty tricky, and nobody would like to try it. But it's part of the thing that they were testing. Rusty Schweiker was testing on Apollo 9. Each of these phases has been tested as we go along. Of course, the lunar module is getting its first test in moon environment right on this flight, and only its second test in space. We're supposed to get that acquisition of signal in about 15 seconds from now, and we'll keep tuned in here. We do have mission control piped into us, and you will hear it just as soon as we do when we get any word from mission control. They are silent at the moment, waiting for that acquisition of signal. The first spacecraft to report in will be the command module. It's a little bit ahead of the lunar module now, and we will hear first from it.
Over. Right, 3-5-5, Charlie Brown.
And there they have Charlie Brown.
Houston, Charlie Brown, over. Roger, reading you 5-5, Charlie Brown, over. Houston, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown, Houston, I'm reading you 5-5.
Apparently John Young and Charlie Brown is not receiving Houston yet.
Roger, reading you last clear. Snoopy was clear for DOI. Roger, great, sounds great, we copy.
Charlie Brown reports, John Young reports that the lunar module did perform its burn to drop into the low point.
He'll fill you in when he gets to you, but at 6 miles, he was doing 65 feet a second. On my 6 miles from me, he was doing 65 feet a second. At 3.8 miles, he was doing 73 feet a second. I think that confirms his burn.
In other words, John Young is saying that according to his radar information, computer information.
Above the rocks, mumbling about the boulders and things right now.
Roger,
Charlie, I saw it rise.
And the lunar module has slowed down.
Looking up at the horizon now. Roger.
You should be hearing shortly directly from the lunar module. Tom Snoopy. This simulation shows what the men in the spacecraft are seeing at this point. They're seeing the Earth rising, it would appear, over the horizon of the moon.
Hello, Houston, this is Snoopy. Right, Snoop, go ahead. We is down among them, Charlie. Roger, I hear you're weaving your way up the freeway. Can you give me a post-burn report, over? Yeah, as soon as I get my breath. Okay, our burn was on time. Our residuals were -0.1, -0.3, and -0.5, and that was the residuals from the dip burn. We did not null anything out. We're at a 61.2 by 9.2, and the ag has us at an 8.6. Roger, Snoopy, we copy all the residuals, and it looks like we're all go. Your dips is looking good, and it's go. Over.
Well, his orbit gives him a 9.2 nautical mile.
Earth rise, and it's got to be magnificent. Right, we copy. Yeah, you can also tell Jack Smith that there's enough boulders around here to fill up Galveston Bay, too. He's copying, Tom.
Orbit.
The only trouble is, we're stripping lots of film for him. Spacecraft's looking good, there are no problems, Charlie, except it'd be nice to be around here more often. Roger, we copy. All your systems are looking good to us. Did you get your dip's pressure back, over?
This is the
negative, but the dip burn was smoothed out very well when we throttled up. Roger, we got a good
dip is the descent propulsion system.
The dip is go for phasing.
This is go for staging for their preparations to come on their next orbit of the moon at about this point. A little later, about 2 hours from now. Their orbit, according to their computer readout, which they just gave to the ground, would put them 11 miles above the moon's surface, a little bit higher than had been planned, which would mean they did not break quite as much by a few feet per second as they had planned. But that is a very small error, certainly, with everything else going so beautifully. They're moving at about 3,700 miles an hour now and are plunging down toward the Earth's surface. The impression to them must be of very rapidly closing with the moon. They get to their lowest point just 14 minutes from now.
Houston, there'll be no update on the phasing pad. Everything's looking really good. Okay, good. We'll be picking up our landing radar test and taking pictures here, and it's a fantastic sight.
That's John Stafford, of course. Tom Stafford.
We do have different shades of browns and grays here. You like the volcanism, there's also a pure white near the edge, and the bottom is black, and we see some large boulders that are blackish gray. Roger, sir, we copy.
Man has never been so close to the moon.